Thank all of you for coming. As Tina said, I will read a prepared statement to lay out this clarity of this situation. The mill, now known as Northern Pulp, has been pumping effluent into Boat Harbor for decades. Many governments have told the mill and its various owners that polluting needed to stop and that the old treatment system needed to be replaced with a new and a modern facility. That has not happened. Year after year, decade after decade, the mill has continued to pump effluent into Boat Harbor. In 2015, our government passed legislation known as the Boat Harbor Act. That legislation gave Northern Pulp 5 years to get an environmental assessment and to start constructing a new, cleaner operation. First, the company filed an environmental assessment, which was incomplete and did not include enough scientific information. The company was then asked to file a focused report. The regulator determined that Northern Pulp provided some of the scientific evidence required, but not enough to allow construction to begin. And now the company is being asked for a third time to file yet another report, an environmental assessment report, which will take at least 2 years. Look at the history. The company has had 5 years and a number of opportunities to get out of Boat Harbor, and at this point, we are not even close to doing that. The company has put us all in a very difficult position, and now it is decision time. And this is one of the hardest decisions that we as a government have had to make. The commitment I made to clean up Boat Harbor was a serious one and not something our government did lightly. Many governments before us said they would clean it up, but did not. We will not repeat that pattern. The Boat Harbor Act will be enforced as of January 31st, 2020. Northern Pulp will be ordered to stop pumping effluent into Boat Harbor. And let me be clear, there will be no extension. Northern Pulp has had a number of chances to get this right, and yet here we are. The regulator has given the mill a path to achieve environmental assessment and build a new effluent treatment facility. We welcome the company to stay in Nova Scotia and encourage them to work with the Environment Department to make it happen. The company will have to decide if it wants to stay in Nova Scotia and operate a modern mill that follows our province's environmental regulations. It is now up to them. They've had 5 years to do the right thing, and I was hoping it wouldn't come to this. And I'm disappointed, to say the least. Now, I have to turn my attention to the workers in the mill, at the sawmills across Nova Scotia, and private woodlot owners, and all those who work in the forest sector in every corner of our province. I know this could not have come at a worse time for you, but the company has failed to respect the timelines given to them 5 years ago. To those workers and their families, please don't despair. Our government will help and support you in this transition. Effectively today, we are announcing a $50 million transition fund. This will support displaced workers, small contractors, and all those whose livelihoods will be affected. I have put together a transition team led by Kellyanne Dean, the Deputy Minister of Intergovernmental Affairs and Trade. She will be supported internally by the Departments of Finance, Lands and Forests, Labor and Advanced Education, as well as a team from outside government, including the Nova Scotia Community College President, Don Bureau. And we also want representatives from each sector of the industry to help in this transition. This industry needs to diversify, and this team will help with that. The forestry sector still has a place in the economy of Nova Scotia, and as a government, we want and need a forest industry because it helps drive our rural economy. It will look different. It may have new customers and new markets, and this transition fund will help with that. It will also be used for retraining and education and emergency funding to help those with immediate needs. We will also be working with the federal government to support the workers affected. I know this is hard on a lot of people, and you are going to be feeling this. But I also want you to know you are not alone. We have not forgotten you, and I have made it clear that this transition is a top priority. Our government is committed to economic growth and environmental integrity. We will continue to do both, not an either or. In 2015, I made a commitment to clean up Boat Harbor, and I'm honoring that commitment today. Now, I am making a commitment to the workers in the mill and the forest sectors across this province that we will be here for you in this transition. And make no mistake, I will honor my commitment to you and to your families to help you transition through this difficult time for you. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.